Brad Bird is one of the best directors that Pixar has working for them. Now that I've seen all 6 of his films, I decided I'm gonna rank them. Welcome back to another new video, everyone. I'm Movie Micah, and today I will be ranking all 6 movies that Brad Bird has directed from worst to best. But keep in mind, this is just my opinion, and I'd like to hear your ranking down below in the comment section. So comment down below, what is your favorite Brad Bird film? And without further ado, let's get started with this ranking. At number 6, I have Tomorrowland. I really hated this movie, but I don't have that much to say about it. It seems like a pretty decent concept that I'd be interested in. However, this turned out to be by far Brad Bird's worst film. Like, it's not even close. The way that they chose to tell this story was so frustrating, and what confused me even more was that the George Clooney kid looks exactly like that other girl's little brother, and besides that, every character and performance feels weird and annoying. I wouldn't recommend Tomorrowland to anyone, because I can't see anyone not being frustrated by the story. Brad Bird's first original live-action film is not good. At number 5, I have Incredibles 2. This was at number 17 in my Pixar ranking. Does that mean it's a bad movie? No, not at all. While it is a disappointment after the first movie, it's still quite good. I think Screenslaver is actually a really interesting villain, even though I predicted Evelyn would be the villain. Something I found interesting was how the two characters saw the same event, but they each respond in completely different ways. Also, some of the dialogue was just as good as the original, but just overall, it doesn't have the same amount of thought put into it as the original. With The Incredibles, you can see how every scene matters, but not so much with the sequel. I still find Incredibles 2 very watchable, and I can't say it's bad at all. Coming in at number 4 for me is Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, the 4th film in the franchise. I love the Mission Impossible movies, but this is definitely the most overrated one. Some people say this is when the franchise started going in a better direction, and while I guess I can see that, I think the original is better, and Rogue Nation and Fallout are a lot better. The reason Ghost Protocol falls so far behind is because it ends on a pretty weak note, and it only gets weaker as the movie goes along. All the Dubai stuff is awesome, especially Tom Cruise on the Burj Khalifa. It's just amazing. But then the ending is nowhere near as good, and it left me with an underwhelmed feeling. This is still a very good action movie, but it ends up surprisingly low next to a bunch of Brad Bird's animated movies. Coming in at number 3 is The Iron Giant. Wow, that was a lot better than I remembered. For some reason I thought I didn't want to rewatch this, but it was a good thing I did, because if I didn't rewatch, it'd be down at number 5. The Iron Giant is not something extremely inventive. We've had stuff a lot like this before. I would even compare this to E.T. in a lot of ways, because it's about this boy who finds a creature and he tries to help it while others try to get rid of it. But I might prefer The Iron Giant to E.T., since it had even more thought, emotion, and interesting things to say. The ending seems like it would end up pretty cheesy, but it somehow works so well, and that's a common thing with this movie. It ends up so much better than it seems like it should. And I guess that's also a common theme with Brad Bird films, because Ratatouille sounds incredibly stupid. Rats are literally the last animals you would ever want to have cooking food, and Brad Bird takes that concept of a rat trying to cook, combines it with the concept that anyone can cook, and it's really inspiring and interesting to watch. What it's really about, though, is pursuing your passion, even when no one else around you understands it, and then even with the insane and wacky concept of a rat cooking food, I think Ratatouille is one of the more grounded Pixar movies, and it feels more like real life compared to some other Brad Bird films. I don't think this film deserves to be called underrated anymore because it gets a ton of praise, but it's pretty great all around. But number 1, Brad Bird's best film is The Incredibles. The Incredibles is a near flawless and very satisfying film to watch. I think the issue I have with films like 2001 is that they have certain parts that don't really matter and don't add anything to the overall narrative, but with The Incredibles, literally every scene and line of dialogue is well thought out and it matters, and that's what I appreciate and want more of from movies. I can just see how well thought out everything is in this film, from the dialogue to the action to the character arcs that everyone receives. The Incredibles is a complete movie. It gets everything done with perfection, and I can't really spot out a flaw. Brad Bird was at his most clever with The Incredibles, and it shows in every scene. Most Pixar movies, I think, are kids' films that adults can also enjoy, but I see The Incredibles as an adult film that kids can also have a fun time with. It has a lot to think about as well, making this the best animated superhero film out there. So thanks for watching. That was just my ranking of all of Brad Bird's films. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below, and if you want to see more content, you can check out more videos right up there and right down there. Thanks for watching. This is Movie Micah signing off, and I'll see you next time.